Oh, what? That doesn't seem right. All right. Also, someone needs to remind me that I should probably pick up the DLC. It's probably on sale still, depending on if the Steam summer sale is still going on. All right, right. We're taking a look at Dwellers. What was this place called? Where's the map? Delver's Row. We're finally taking a look at Delver's Row after all this time. The grizzled old Amawa woman looks like she's been left in the sun to dry. Her skin is so worn and weathered, it's hard to tell where her it's hard to tell her wrinkles from her scars.
You need a blade or a bludgeon or some sturdy armor. Umani has what you seek.
The old woman gives you a grin that multiplies the wrinkles in her face. Show me what you've got.
Old Umani stock is tested in the hands and throats of the fiercest sorts in the gullet. Never will you find a better selection.
Oh god, even more mini stories. I love this. This helmet once belonged to a Huana barbarian known throughout the archipelago as Rekvu, dread of invaders. Local legends holds that Rekvu appeared only when her forces' situations were at its most dire. Rekvu often sustained injuries in battle that would have killed any other warrior, and yet she never died. Near the end of her life, Rekvu was pulled into battle once again, this time against a horde of Aoten unleashed on a quiet mining village by an opportunistic noble from a distant nation. The Aoten, wielding a monstrous greatsword, caught Rekvu unawares in the thick of the fight and slammed her blade into Rekvu's head. Rekvu dashed the blood from her eyes and leapt on the Aoten, knocking him to the ground. With one great swing of her axe, Rekvu severed both of the Aoten's heads. When the remaining Aotens were slain and the invading noble's body was quartered and given to the sea, Rekvu dashed the blood from her eyes and pulled off her cracked helmet, only to discover that the Aoten's attack had cleaved her ear clean off. Immortal Will. The wearer is immune to interrupts while they carry one or more injuries. That is really good. There's so many good tank items. And we also have the Undying Burden. +1 to athletics. Incoming weapon damage is reduced as health is lost. +2 to constitution. That is a absolutely freaking fantastic belt for Adair. The Deerwooden commander Maxel Hessen wore this belt during the Battle of Mid-March Road, one of the opening clashes of the War of Defiance. The Deerwooden fought valiantly, but their disorganized light infantry was no match for the Adiran heavy regiment. Overwhelmed, the rebels were killed nearly to a man. According to several Adiran soldiers, Maxel was the last to fall. Surrounded and badly wounded, he refused the Adiran commander's offer for quarter. It took a dozen spears to put the rebel down, and even then he continued to fight until he was beheaded. Wow. Some good stuff here. Oh, look at this exceptional plate mail. Oh, right. We also leveled. I'm going to go ahead and deal with that. Sephi is going to get more slates of hand. Which I think definitely fits Sephi's new role as Team Badass. More diplomacy. What is this? Rise again, Scions of Adon. Revives allies in the area of effect with a small amount of health. Friendly aura, plus 10 deflection, plus 1 enemies engaged for 1 round. Increases the deflection and engagement limit of allies. Allows the caster to shape area of effect spells, modifying their their area and power level. Ooh, gonna take that. And we gain another proficiency. Can we get I think I'm gonna go for quarterstaffs. Or... Okay, Morningstar is a two-handed, apparently? I didn't realize this. I need a bludgeoning weapon. Fights defensively with your poleaxe, trading damage for increased engagement. Direct your strikes towards the body, dealing less damage but lowering the target's fortitude. I think I'll go with this. Since Sephi's role is off-tank, poleaxe actually works pretty well for that. Which means I need to find a poleaxe for her. Let's see here. More alchemy. We just need a lot more alchemy in general. And of course more religion. Riceland. Riceland. Where do I know that name? Oh, right. Nasrallah. Did we just get a raid? Did I just get a raid and nothing went off? Hold up a moment. Hello, everyone. One moment. I'm just going to pull up my channel because apparently I got no notification. Hello again, Sir Cupcake Man. Welcome to the second part of the stream. Welcome everyone to Pillars of Eternity 2, which is the Pillars of Eternity where we officially become pirates. Well, actually I'm still trying to figure out that particular question. Also, what is this? Two-handed style. Wait, okay, so this is Jyoti. We're currently leveling up our characters as we've been ignoring levels for a while. And when we get back to the boat, we have almost an entire other party to level, so that's going to be fun. There's a lot of followers in this game. We're also blatantly ignoring the main quest, as you do in games like this, to do as many side quests as we possibly can. How's everyone doing? Also, I'm going to give Nasrallah a bit of a shout out real quick. Thank you very much for that raid, Naz. Holy crap, that actually works. Sorry, my bot is very custom. It's not actually dedicated towards any of the bots that you may know. It's built up from the grounds. It's my favorite thing about my streams. For those who don't know, Nasrallah is a long-term Souls-like challenge runner. What was your challenge run today? I should really have it actually display the title of the stream too, so I can get a good look at it. You still trying to do Deathless Dark Souls? Okay, Dark Souls 1, SL1, no Pyro Deathless. What was the reason for the no Pyro part of that challenge? Does Pyromancer really just add that much of an easy, or just make the game that much easier. I mean, I suppose it is really easy to get maximum pyromancy in Dark Souls 1. Because all you need to do is farm souls. You don't even need to farm resources. Let's see here. Now, I'm looking at this particular priest, right? This is Jyoti. Jyoti is great. That lantern that she has is a lantern that houses a lot of souls. We are trying to collect as many of the souls as possible, and as more souls enter the lantern, she is losing her mind a little bit, and it's not quite so great. She is... what is her subclass? She's a priest, but she's something else too, which is making it really interesting. Vile Thorn, Circle of Protection. Her main ability, Blessed Harvest here, it just destroys enemies. It does a huge amount of damage to a single enemy. I think I'm going to go with Triumph of the Crusaders. Here she regains health. Shining Beacon. I'm either going to go with Triumph of the Crusaders or pick up a passive ability. I'm not sure. She's not a damage priest, so... Combat focus. Also, this is a turn-based version of Pillars of Eternity 2, in case anyone didn't know. Pillars of Eternity 2 is strange for a CRPG. You get the option to choose between either turn-based or full real-time. Real-time with pause, I should say. Litany for the Body. Hardy Inspiration. Actually, yeah, why not? We're going to go with that. All right. What do we want to give to her? I think that I also want to give her... Okay, she's got hatchets. Hatchets are slash damage, right? Hard to tell with okay, it is slash damage, yeah. There's either the mace, I'm either thinking a mace or a flail. Flails are fashioned from a metal ball. What's... Hold up. Unbalanced strikes. Focus your attack on your target's footing, dealing less damage but lowering your reflex. Damaging the target's armor. That sounds amazing for a support. I wonder if that's a permanent damage. All right. I think we'll go with that. And we have three more. I'm not going to level all of them up right now because these take a while and I like to spread them out a little bit. We already picked that up. Adair is the easiest one to level up because he just doesn't have that much to do. As you can see, his big list of abilities is not that big. Actually, we'll go with that. He just needs to be tough. This is one of the few times when I might actually start considering. We'll go ahead and give him a large shield. The wall! While active, you are unable to move.
Yours to command.
Good to know. Takeha still likes his explosives. I need to start giving him more explosives. Ooh, Conjure Blight. You don't know what kind of blight you're conjuring, though. That's not great. Okay, so he does primarily electricity damage. Hailstorm. And he's a big fan of a lot of just explosives. Secrets of Rhyme, Greater Wild Strike, Corrode. Can I? No, I have to pick one. What's this? Spirit of Decay, and that's Spell Shaping. Spell Shaping would be useful for him. Calling the World's Maw. Summons jagged rocks or stab to stab upwards from the ground, dealing pierce damage to targets and knocking them prone. That's a better version of... Where is it? Crush damage and the stun affliction. What's this do? I think I will go with this, actually. And then Takehu currently uses staffs and poleaxes. I guess we might as well just go ahead and... Yeah, it does slash damage. Stick with spears. Alright. And then one last one. I know I said I wouldn't do all of these at once, but I figure we're already here. Maya's also similarly easy, because there's just not that much to do with her. She is DPS, and I already knew which one her next level would be. Stalker's Link. Cool. So she uses that. Interrupting shot, overbearing shot. We already have the DPS, which is the aimed shot from Arquebus. I think I'm going to go ahead and go for this, so that she can use warbows. And that'll be our anti-armor version. All right. Now then.
Yes, Captain.
How much money do we have? Actually, we can probably get significantly more. Because I haven't sold in a while. Exceptional rod. Torch. So Naz, how did your stream go? I'm sorry. I did not ask. Hopefully it went well. I get really focused whenever I'm trying to do builds, and you obviously kind of, especially with new content, you sort of have to pay attention. Amulets of Hope. You couldn't string together a good run? Too tired from a rough day? Ah. How much focus does a complete run usually take out of you? Like, are there days when you sit down and go, I'm going to do this, and then you actually just are able to do it? Gauntlets of reliability. Okay. I'm gonna get rid of this scroll of nature's mark. I'm never gonna use it. Insect swarm. Eh. We are never selling our dogs. We have so many dogs. Hey, Ether. How are you doing? I think that might be it for now. I could sell off some more gear,
Naturally.
but well, okay. First of all, let's actually get some
You need
stuff
a blade or old Umani's.
because I need at the very least a poleaxe. Fine poleaxe, fantastic. Put that here. And then we need a large shield. Gamble. Oh, you can retrain. Okay. It's good to know. Grab that. And then grab that. Adair went down in one of our last fights, and I don't want that to happen again. So Adair is getting a lot of new gear. Yeah, look at how shiny that is. Adair is our primary tank. How does that actually compare? Better armor rating, better resistances to all damage types, worse initiative. About what you'd expect. It's just heavier. Alright, let's go.
It will be so.
Is he a shard bearer? I don't know what a shard bearer is, so I'm sorry. The joke is lost on me this time. Oh, we're all very well, yes. Is anyone here familiar with the original Pillars of Eternity? Also,
What have we here?
oh, Brent. Huh. A figure in the shadows looks up at your approach, pursing his lips together in a crooked line.
Think you made a wrong turn, Bilger. You don't belong in the row.
Nonsense, I go where I please. He rolls his eyes, and the crooked line of his mouth evens out. Actually, the smell of this shithole reminds me of home. He raises an eyebrow at this. Long moments pass as he casually looks you up and down.
Either you don't know who I am, or you've had a few too many, eh? Don't matter. You sure as shit ain't the law.
He glances around the alley before continuing.
You looking to commission an artist? You'll find none better in Nekataka, Bilger.
He lightly traces a finger across the hilt of an emerald-encrusted stiletto hidden within the folds of a dark leather tunic. His narrowed eyes seem to dance in the magical light as the gemstone pulses with a caustic glow. The right half of his mouth ascends menacingly as he dips his head and peers at you from underneath his brow. You're an assassin? You're answered with a thin-lipped scowl as your words echo throughout the alley. Would you be interested in joining my crew?
Sorry, Bilger. I work alone.
And what sort of payment do you require for your services?
Depends on the craftsmanship required. We don't know each other, so let's keep our dealings within the gullet, yeah?
With a furrowed brow, he glares at you, but says nothing. Are you talking Brandon Sanderson, Nasrallah? I'm familiar with the author, but I haven't actually read anything from the work. I haven't read that much new in general. I need to work on that. Still trying to read through Perdido Street Station. I pick it up and put it down every couple months. I'm about halfway through at this point, but that's not saying much. It's a 600-page book. Which is better, Pillars of Eternity 1 or 2? I've heard that the general consensus for Pillars of Eternity 1 is that it has the better story, but worse gameplay. Pillars of Eternity 1 was one of my favorite CRPGs, and it's up there in favorite games in general. Because it's just... I played Pillars of Eternity 1 after I played The Outer Worlds. And The Outer Worlds made me lose faith a lot in Obsidian. Pillars of Eternity 1 restored that faith because it reminded me what they can do. I'm not sure that Outer Worlds is really their best work, although I understand a lot of that is probably because they didn't have much time. I'd like you to handle a problem for me. Head swiveling side to side, he darts a cautionary glance. Then, shoulders straightening, he leans close to you.
Go on.
I'd like you to take care of a merchant by the name of Ernezo.
Never like that one. Talks too fucking much. The dodge ought to be easy enough, but you should know it could draw a query or two from other ne'er-do-wells what associate with him.
Do it.
Done and done. I'd steer clear of Ernetzo's boys for a pinch. I'll be back when the dust settles.
I don't know who I just killed, by the way. I'm sure the quest log will tell me. I certainly just killed someone. Oh no, Anerzo was killed. Cutthroat was killed. Bruiser was killed. Alright. I certainly just killed someone. Oh no. I may reload a save. Oh, yep.
On it.
Yep. They're very dead. I remember who Ernezo was now. Oh boy.
What did you find, Ishi?
I really hope.
Reflexes and charms should do the job. Worry not. I am good with my hands.
No, you're not. Okay.
Reflexes and charms should do the job. That will do nicely.
Okay. Yeah, I actually wanted some stuff that he had, so I'm going to reload a save. Oh god, I hope that save wasn't too long ago. You know what? It's fine. It's fine. I wanted to explore Delver's Row, and we explored Delver's Row. Also, just gonna make the same updates real quick. Da, 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 da. Let's see here. Which one did I pick? Oh god. Spear. Actually, grab that. At least I remember all of the choices that I made, so this is a fast level up process now. It helps that some of these are just really straightforward. Like there was no other choice other than that. And I wanted to do war bows. There we go. So what's everyone's favorite series then? Has anyone read anything from Patrick Rothfuss? Specifically Name of the Wind and that series? We'll never see the third book in that series.
Think you made a wrong turn, Bilger. You don't belong in the row.
Yep, sorry, dude. We're not going to conscript you this time. So exactly how do I get out of here? That's the real question right now. If we can figure out how to get out of here, then we should be good to go. Probably down here. That's Rust. Assassin named Rust. I wonder if they named him Rust due to the idea of rust being a commonly associated with entropy and death. An Orlan woman stands over a table laden with herbs and spices. She mixes them without looking at her work, pausing now and then to raise a sprig or file to her nose. You realize she is blind.
It's the smell of cardamom that drew you, no? Or perhaps the sting of fresh pepper. Or maybe you seek something with a stronger bite.
What do you sell?
Food, of course, and supplies for the road. Though most here come to me for poisons and venoms.
You know that guy streams? Patrick Rothfuss actually has a Twitch channel. And he apparently streams quite frequently.
I have plenty. Though, if you're buying poison and ailment, mind you store them separate.
You should write/edit more frequently. Yeah, I don't know. That seems to be the common thing in the streams. Oh god, I don't want to do poison. Poisons are... I don't like poisons. They cost an entire turn to use, and frequently you don't get very much out of them for that turn. I was gonna grab... No, this one. Okay. Quick save completed. You leave the hustle of Delver's Row behind you and fade into the alleys. You peer through the curtain at the tunnel beyond. It continues to the left and right. We're gonna go right? You trudge along the darkened passage and reach an intersection. The tunnels branch off to the left. You hear the distant murmurs of voices down the darkened path, but see no one. Okay. We were looking for the gullet. The other thing that I can say about Pillars of Eternity 1 versus Pillars of Eternity 2 is that 1 has some phenomenal use of lore. Like, nothing goes wasted. It's great. Okay, so we're going to explore the Narrows. We're going to go right, not quite what I was looking for. A handful of guards emerge and block your way, crossing their thick arms over their chests. One of them spits a viscous black glove at your feet. He rolls a dark plug between his teeth. Better head back, friend. It's invitation only past here. Well, this is exactly what I was looking for. You see, there's a friend that I'm trying to track down.
Have my attention.
Alright, let's do some combat for the first time since we
Yours to
started this stream.
command, Captain.
Oh wow, that's a lot of enemies. Punch!
Captain.
Okay, let's see here. First of all, we'll send Ishii after that. Oh, it's now Ishii's turn. Fantastic. Go ahead and empower that charge. Jeez, that sorcerer just is not breaking stride. That's okay. He's about to be dead. Ow.
Yeah?
Alright, so I mentioned earlier that Sephi Merrigan can absolutely goddamn wreck people. Or not Sephi, Jyoti. Yeah, let's see exactly what that looks like.
I hear you.
Let's see if we can actually get her out of combat. This is gonna hurt. There we go. And that's their mage out of the way. Cool.
I'll light the darkness.
Everyone get buffed. Fantastic.
Let's go.
Now Adair needs to use charge to get over here. And immediately buff up. Grab this guy.
You need something.
Oh, fantastic. Everyone's stunned. He has extremely good electricity usage, so this is a good time for me. Jyoti's a bit low, but we'll see. I might be able to withdraw her and then they'll be without a target and switch to Sephi since she's the closest. This is Ashiza again as the healer. Who did the mark jump to? That one over there. Jesus, that was 31 damage.
What do you need?
Do not underestimate the bird.
Stay behind me.
Yeah?
Alright. That was so... my god. It never gets tiring seeing those big damage numbers. Alright.
You were saying?
That's armor mostly gone. I can either focus on the healer. Mark for the hunt, right there. That was 233 damage. Yeah, that healer needs to get hurt. However,
Speak your mind.
all right, Shark Boy, for Atlantis.
Your bones will feed the land.
Happy to oblige.
Oh my god, I haven't stomped a fight this badly in a long time. Now then,
Yeah?
so she's just withdrawn herself. She'll be out of combat for 3 turns.
I'm listening.
Okay. Oh, good. The healer got marked for the hunt. What do we got? Rending Smash?
Leave it to me.
You have my attention.
All right, Shark Boy.
Huh? Got it.
Happy to oblige.
You were saying?
So he's taking damage over time.
I'm better than that.
I just healed themselves. Probably a potion. Oh no, that was Watchful Presence on both of them. That was going to happen no matter what I did.
At your service. Show me where to fight.
Let's go.
Alright, healer's dead. Which means the thug is now the new target.
What can I do you for?
You were saying?
Okay, one more turn on withdraw for Jyoti. Should be.
I've got this, Captain.
Withdraw is such a great ability. It is easily one of my favorite priest spells.
Yeah?
There's a lot of times when you get really long cast times. And withdraw is just like, oh, screw your long cast times. I'm just going to make it so the target of that cast doesn't exist for the next couple
Speak your
turns.
mind. Your bones will feed the land.
Jesus.
Take him down.
Yeah?
Your orders?
Yeah?
Gibletized. That was an easy fight. That was a really easy fight. 233 damage on a Blessed Harvest. You return to the darkness and the squalor of the alleys. So we can go to Delver's Row now that we found it. Or we can just keep exploring the Narrows. At the end of the passage is a stately door crafted of polished mahogany. Through the small slit in the door, you catch flashes of fire-cast shadows and bright textiles. The scent of sandalwood and cinnamon oil come to you on a warm draft. Whatever's beyond the door is likely far more elegant than anything else you've seen near the gullet. We're looking for something. We're looking for a hideout. And this may be it.
Gillarde.
A man claps enthusiastically, a fierce grin on his sharp-featured face. The guards around him hold their weapons close, clearly less amused than their boss.
You make your appearance at last. I must say, you are living up to your lively reputation. I normally despise unannounced visits, but then they are rarely so entertaining.
He looks into the tunnel where his guards lie dead.
Tell me, what brings you here in such spectacular fashion? And please, do not bore me now.
There's a rattle of metal and a squeak of leather as he takes a step towards you. You note the stiffness of his gait and a strange thickness in the legs of his trouser. Your guards should have stayed out of my way.
Such spirit. You do not disappoint, Aimika.
Bitch, I'm supposed to be retired. Dario leans back, sizing you up. As he shifts his weight, you glimpse metal and leather rising above his boot, the bottom of a leg brace.
A moment. You are the watcher of the Deerwood, no?
Was.
Let us put our weapons away, so we can speak like civilized folk.
Civilized conversation would be most welcome.
Excellent.
He nods to the guards around him, and they relax, sheathing their weapons.
I am thinking we could be grand friends, you and I. You cannot have too many friends in Nekataka.
Dario bares his perfect, even teeth in a smile.
Kara, but I am worth 5 friends at least.
And I need only a favor. An insignificant thing for a watcher like you. There is an artifact called the Cornet of Waves, which is currently in the possession of a Juana named Takano.
I am also after this artifact.
I would like you to liberate it for me.
He flutters his slender hands in a way that resembles a bird taking flight. Most people of your standing like to handle their acquisitions themselves.
Alas, none of my people are watchers, and you will see things they cannot. Takano is a man of many vanities, as your special gifts will no doubt reveal. His villa is on the eastern edge of Serpent's Crown, just downwind of the palace. The opportunist I first hired was too bold and found herself ejected from the district. With your unique talents, I am hoping you can avoid such complications and persuade Takano. After all, it would be best to avoid drawing the ire of our Mataru hosts. When you have the cornet, bring it to me. I will pay you well for it, and you will find my favor useful in this part of the city.
Look, I'm not doing that, but I'm not going to tell him that. You see, I know what that cornet is used for, and I've already found the other one. It's part of a set. What is the Cornet of Waves?
It is an old Juana artifact, a musical instrument of sorts.
One hand plays with the elaborate decorations on his sleeve.
Ages ago, it was part of a pair, but its companion, the Cornet of Depths, was lost when the old city sank. Both are said to carry the voice of Andra herself.
Look no further, silly man. I speak with Ngati's tongue.
And are you willing to sit upon my shelf for my entertainment?
His eyes crawl over Takehu and he smirks. Then he returns his attention to you.
I do not believe in these superstitions, of course.
And what do you want with it?
I have told you all you need to know of the cornet. Now, I suggest you focus your sharp mind on retrieving it.
And do you want to know about the cornet or the hidden temple of Andra that it opened? His brace rattles as he starts forward, mouth agape.
Gillarde, You Watchers truly are workers of miracles.
He claps, and a figure waiting by the door scurries into the Narrows. This concludes our business, then. He clears his throat and produces a blunderbuss. After a brief pause, he whirls around and holds it out to you.
Never let it be said that Dario does not pay a fair price.
You've gained an item, kitchen stove. This item is put into your stash. Indeed, I would hate for anyone to say that. He gives you a respectful, if strained, smile and nods to one of his attendants, who produces a bag of coin. Also, can I? No. Okay.
Now, allow us to put the question of money to rest. It is an unseemly topic to linger on.
Let's discuss something else then.
What do you require?
The Principi seem divided. Which side are you on?
Why must we speak of sides? Like squabbling merchants from the republics.
He makes a face as if he was just smelling something awful.
Once, there were no sides. Only Principi, a people united by common interest and culture. But as our fame has grown, so have our numbers. Many of these new bloods have no sense of restraint and little regard for our heritage.
His long fingers stray to his shining swollen hat.
But we need them still. The new bloods are Principi too now, and many are inventive in ways the old guard is not.
Inventive or not, their ships will end up in Andra's clutches.
For such a serious people, you Rauataians have most colorful imaginations.
Dario turns back to you. What happened to your legs?
A storm, a rash decision, and an accident at sea. One that took my sailing days, but not my skill with a needle.
He smiles cryptically.
Life in the Deadfire is unpredictable. Sometimes it takes you in its jaws only to spit you out onto some new shore.
So, about the Cornet of Waves.
A most agreeable topic. Or so I hope.
He draws his hands together and regards you over long, tented fingers. Oh.
What do you require? A moment, I almost forgot.
He takes the needlework from the table and unfurls it. It's larger than it initially looked.
Percamblanca. Take it and indulge my vanity.
He hands you a lovingly crafted flag. You gained an item, Principi colors. The item was put in your stash.
It is not as grand as the sails I once made, but my fingers are ever restless.
Funny. I already have one. Alright, well, I do want that other cornet. Laid out on are various trinkets made from junk, necklaces strung with fish bones and shoe buckles, and bracelets made with shards of broken glass. But the certain sways and flaps but the curtain sways and flaps as if stirred by a draft. You twitch it aside and discover a secret passageway. On your left is an abandoned merchant stall displaying a cheap jewelry. The path continues ahead. You check the tunnel one more time to make sure no one is watching. Then you slip behind the curtain and into another passageway. You're walking along with several hooded figures when several hooded figures materialize out of the darkness. Not so fast. You gotta pay a toll if you want to visit Delver's Row. Dario the Lean granted me safe passage. The guards in the tunnel nod and let you through. Okay. We're going to retrace our steps to the exit. We know our way. Okay, quests. Quests. We supposedly finished the Cornet's Call. Takano's villa in the Serpent's Crown. Huh. I do still want that cornet. Serpent's Crown. So, we already found the one. It's currently in place in the actual mosaic. I decided not to remove it. Muhai Takano's estate. Here we are. This ought to be interesting. Maybe we can find out some more information. The cornets are shells, by the way. You can hear them, or hear the call of the sea through them. They get more powerful when they're closer to their artifacts. The mosaic is one of them.
See the scratches on the wood?
An older Mataru man stands ringed by younger Huana, apprentices or pupils it seems. His robes shimmer with quartz beading, and his perfume announces his presence from across the room. Yet beneath his finery, he looks like a fighter gone to seed. Disused muscles flop from his arms, and flab pads him like so many layers of silk. He looks up and notices you.
Greetings, and welcome to my home.
He gestures to the lavish room, puffing his broad chest out a little more.
For what do you come to my villa?
Beaming, he spreads his arms wide.
Nice house. Be a shame if someone nudged it over the mountainside.
You Rowattians have the strangest sense of humor.
He laughs loudly, but panic flickers in his eyes. I hear you have a rare Andrite artifact. Actually, let's read that soul. Your essence slips from your body, and Takano's soul enfolds you like a warm, oily thing. As his fears and questions seep into you, your perspective shifts to his. At first, you worried this pale elf before you had been sent by the Vailian debt collectors. It would be a low trick, taking advantage of your famous hospitality, but then those Vailians are crafty. Perhaps if your villa were bigger, then they might know if you were a man worthy of respect. At least you have the shell. You tuck it away, not only for safekeeping, but also because you are a little ashamed of it. How could such a simple, ugly thing be sacred to a god? But it was a gift from a queen, and so you keep it. Your gaze strays to the wall. Yes, you must knock down that section there. Install a wide, grand window, once you have the money. You retreat from Takano's soul and find him watching you with a placid smile. Hey, look!
Ah, I see.
His features fall in disappointment. Takeo grins and pats down the nest of his writhing hair.
I am sure it is also a great honor.
I hear you have a rare Andrite artifact.
The Cornet of Waves. It is a conch shell, but very important. To receive it is the highest honor.
He nods vigorously, jiggling the loose flesh of his neck. He sounds like he's trying to convince himself more than you.
The Queen gave it to me as thanks for my years of service. I was her personal bodyguard when she was a child, you know.
Why is it so special?
Because it is sacred to the goddess Andra. Everyone knows it is a privilege to have.
He glances towards his apprentices.
A carrot to Kano. Everyone knows it is a sign of favor.
She snaps too, and her response is sudden and automatic, as though Takano had just given her an order. He gives the apprentice an appreciative nod.
I am misled if holding a shell is all it takes to earn Ngati's favor.
Takehu tosses his hair and chuckles to himself. Andra is the goddess of loss. Legend says she calls missing things to her with the music of the conch.
Truly? Then I must hope she calls nothing back from me.
His booming laugh has a nervous edge as he glances around his fine home.
Generations ago, there was a similar shell. When the old city sank, Andra's faithful gathered around that cornet and prayed for deliverance.
He leans close, a storyteller's grin spreading across his face. An ominous sing-song creeps into his voice.
But Andra is not a goddess of mercies. Instead of lifting them from the ruin, she pulled them down with the shell and said they would rise when it did.
He chuckles and leans back, clasping his hands over his generous midsection.
That is the story, anyway. Macabre, no?
Indeed. I need that cornet of waves.
But it was a gift from the Queen. It is unusual for a man of my standing to give such a thing away.
I shouldn't say this, but I'm on a mission from the palace. A symbol as important as the cornet would help.
Truly?
He leans in, his eyes wide and eager. Jyoti puffs out a heated breath. Yeah, she doesn't like that. Yep.
I dearly miss palace gossip. Come, what is it about?
I'd tell you, but I'm sworn to secrecy. You remember what that's like.
Not to worry. I learned to keep many secrets in my years guarding the Queen.
Indeed.
Take it, with my blessing.
He presents you with a large, lustrous conch shell. The surface is inscribed with symbols, and the tip is fitted with a silver mouthpiece. Sweet. Speech for the win. That made that a lot easier. I was hoping that I wouldn't have to fight him, and indeed we did not have to fight him.
Takehu, would you mind terribly if I touched your hair?
Of course not. Only touch gently, and they will return the favor.
Huh. That's what Angwer said when we were necking in the Merkberries.
All right. So let's see. Down to the gullet again. The hole, the gullet, Delver's Row, Undercroft, Belia's home, Old City Overlook. I take it that you're going on a trip then? I want to see what this Cornet of Waves unlocks. Now that we have both, we should be able to open the door. You learn tomorrow, maybe midnight if you're going on a trip? Are they doing another season then? There's gonna be good times. climb down the steps. I guess the tickets would probably be... Actually, how did the tickets work for BattleBots? Is it per fight? Or is it for the entire season? Okay. That's kind of what I figured. So if you want to see the entire season, you'll probably take a long-term trip there. That means you'll be out of the area for a while. You'll have to pick your spot. Cracked dirt-rimed carving illuminate there. A cracked dirt-rimed carving dominates the wall. In it, two hands rise from the curling waves. Sockets have been carved in the hollows of the hands. One is fitted with a gleaming conch, and the other is empty. Place a second conch in the other hand. The other shell slides into place, glowing as brilliantly as its twin. A counterpoint melody rises from it. The carving shudders, and something rumbles beneath your feet. You watch as the wall panel sinks into the floor. You have lost an item, the Cornet of Waves. Well, this ought to be interesting.
That looks like something.
The reflexes and charms should do the job.
Yes.
Well, that could have gone better. A quick rest would help, if you don't mind.
We're fine. We're fine.
The reflexes and charms should do the job.
Oh, come on. Mechanic skill is too low. Lock difficulty of 7. That, though, is interesting. A poleaxe, two-handed. Additional effects. August 23rd to September 14th. And you have vacation time for that? Oh, man. Well, that sounds like you've got something to plan. You'll have to tell us how what it's like when you get back. Standard attack AoE AoE hits primary target and up to +3 additional targets, friend or foe. Oh god. Having spent a lot of time in Vegas, that is hard on the wallet. Everything's more expensive there. Standard attack AoE. AoE hits primary target and up to +3 additional targets, friend or foe. That's interesting. At Blade's Reach, minus 20% melee damage received for 1 round on launching an attack. Huh. This ancient Huana weapon once belonged to the legendary barbarian Mawaluha. Oh god, how do you say this name? Mawalahua. And Mawalahua the battle-crazed. Known both for his love of violence and love of money, Mawalahua sold his services as a warrior to the highest bidder. He had no compunction against the fighting on either side of a conflict and did so frequently, sometimes switching sides during a single battle. If he was rumored to be fighting, opposing commanders would actively bid for his loyalty throughout the course of the melee. Maualahua was indiscriminate in battle, striking all who came near, both friend and foe. He could be relied on to never give ground, however, and his allies always gave him a wide berth in which to do deadly work. I like this. I like this. That goes here. What is this? Mataru clothing. Okay. Yep, that's a good mix. At some point, I have to upgrade my greatsword. Oh man, look at that thing. Oh, what's this? Potion of the of the resilient body. Resistance to might afflictions, resistance to constitution afflictions.
Oh, worry not. I am good with my hands.
Alright. I gotta visit my boat again. We need to swap out people. There's so much stuff. Guys, you want to go down here? All right. The gas counts as being in combat because you take damage. I forgot. The elf jumps back as the door opens. She has her weapon raised, ready to attack, but seeing you, she slowly lowers it.
I used to court a girl who did that whenever I stopped by. Miss her.
It's you. But how'd you get through there?
She peers through the door, looking at the shrine on the other side.
Is that it?
She growls in exasperation, looking past you. What exactly are you looking for?
There's an old temple of Andra. Dario said it was just past this door.
She looks around, as if hoping to find someone she missed.
Dario said there was a whole temple back here.
Ah, the wrong temple. There's 2 temples of Andra. Probably one for each cornet, but only one had the door that opened with both. Okay, where the heck is this boat that I need? This one right here. We need to visit our boat, and from there, we should be able to figure out what we're doing. We have one particular character that has a mechanics of 7. Let's row to the Queensburg. Alright. Oh, so that's how we get back there. Road south. I should probably also visit the Wildmare at some point. All right. How do I just visit my boat? Is this it? Worthless idiot. What do you do? You're just a navigator and that's all. Wow, we actually have quite a few people now. Standard anchor. Upgraded cannons. Shit. We're almost done with Neketaka at this point. We've done a lot of the big quest lines. As you ready your ship, a cloaked figure mounts the gangplank and roughly forces a burned book into your hands. They turn and depart without a word. The Burned Book of Law. The binding of this tome reeks of smoke. What few pages remain are crinkled and black. Based on the few chapter headers that survived the fire damage, this might have been a book of antiquated laws. Now, it's nothing more than a charred relic of authority.
You crack the spine of the old book, revealing blackened pages of dense, illegible text. The words recede into the shadows the longer you focus on them.
God, the art of Pillars of Eternity's stuff, like this entire style, I love it.
Suddenly, the page widens to eclipse the world around you. A dark void stretches out on all sides. The air full of choking fumes that carry dying embers and curling flakes of ash.
Hello? Is anyone out there?
Something stirs in the darkness. An old woman steps forward,
I knew it.
leering down at you from on high. Her smile is toothy and cruel. Her cheeks warp around it like melted candle wax.
Woodika.
I'm so glad that my messenger tracked you down. These days it's impossible to find good help.
Woodika.
Watcher, before you draw your weapon, know that these proceedings are under a banner of peace. If this was a trap, it would have already closed around you.
I have a strange habit of getting out of traps, regardless of who set them.
While Barroth whispers in one ear and Aetha shouts in the other, I thought you could use a more seasoned perspective to drown out the noise.
Do you have any idea, Woodika, how long it took for me to get rid of you the first time? So you dragged me into a blistering inferno?
This is but a small corner of the beyond. One that I use for privacy and contemplation, when I need to get away from the endless chatter. Don't you find it unusual how open and accessible my siblings have made themselves? After millennia of subdued whispers, now they practically scream their intentions. And isn't it strange how we never bicker? unless a mortal is watching.
What's your point?
If we still possessed our glorious titans, my siblings and I would have put an end to Aethys and his rampage by now.
Wait, hold up, Titans?
While we are powerless to stop him, some of my kin wish to observe how mortals respond to this threat. They think it will shine a light on the value of our patronage. Have we raised you well enough to be self-sufficient? Or must we return to Eora and impose some corrective measures?
And if we prove ourselves, what then?
What indeed? That would depend on which of us you ask. A cross-section of society has converged on the Deadfire. Some of my kin are of an opinion that we are meant to judge mortals on the basis of their performance, while the rest of us have already made up our minds on the matter.
So why do I get the feeling you're trying to convince me of something?
Judge for yourself. But I think you'll find my intentions are more straightforward than you think. When we ascended to godhood, we did so to provide for a savage people. Our goal was to craft a society whose values were made to last. Perhaps even a society that had no need of us. A naive fallacy, but one that inspired my optimistic, misguided kin. How you and your allies counter this threat will demonstrate whether you are competent enough to guide your own destinies, or if we need to revise our strategy. The soft-hearted among us are counting on you to win this existential wager. No doubt, Aethys shares their sympathies. I do not. We exist to rule over mortals. Nothing can change that.
Spoken like a true god of rulers.
So now you know the truth. I assume you have questions.
Has your opinion of mortals changed at all?
Nothing you've done has tarnished it utterly beyond repair. You may congratulate yourself on that much, at least.
I wanted to talk about the wheel and your rise to godhood.
The wheel is our shared responsibility, and each of us serves it in our own fashion. I am the axle upon which the gods balance their power. Aethys keeps the wheel in motion. He was our promise to mortals that time and labor would yield a deserving reward on the next turning of the cycle.
How did the Ingwithans become gods?
At the height of our power, we recognized the potential of the soul. We knew that it could be bound, split apart, diverted like a river, and hammered together. Hammering was trivial. Those of us who agreed with the Apotheosis Project, and many who did not, submitted to a violent and horrible erasure of our individuality. After the dust settled, we adopted the forms of beings from Eora's most prevalent myths. There were other faiths and legends, but we labored to strike their names from history.
How exactly does the wheel function?
Much of reincarnation's mechanism exists in the idea space of the beyond. You wouldn't find a wall of cogs and levers unless we conjured one to illustrate a point.
I figured as much.
The wheel has but one material component in all of Eora. Something we built to channel essence through luminous Adra and into the beyond with reliable continuity. Before we intervened, the flow of essence was directionless, unpredictable. We succeeded in widening the gap, diverting it, giving it an efficient path to follow.
Reincarnation existed before you, so why not just leave it alone?
Before we took control of the wheel, reincarnation was error-prone, lacking forward momentum. Hollowborn were fairly common, and hardly the worst of the soul maladies. Control gave us the power to strengthen the souls of intelligent kith over generations, We made you wiser, stronger, more likely to develop the society we thought you deserved. Every turning of the cycle demonstrated the righteousness of my belief. Nature begets chaos, and discipline begets perfection.
That's admirable in its own way. Boudica is the highest form of order. She wants what's best for us, but she's not willing to allow us to choose.
Speak, Watcher. It isn't every day that I open myself to these communions, so spend your breath wisely.
Why did you choose to confide in me?
Whether knowingly or unintentionally, you seem to find yourself on the vanguard of change. Mortals like you come but once in a lifetime. Some would react poorly if I stripped mortals of their freedom without giving them a chance to plead their case. You have the honor of standing tall as their advocate. Before I return to Eora and assume my position as your deserving tyrant, you have this opportunity to prove me wrong. To demonstrate whether or not mortals are responsible enough to claim their future.
She's civilization's mom. Oh, that's funny. You speak as if we don't have a chance.
You speak as if you do. Mortals have precious little time to decide for themselves. Will they stand together as one, or swallow their pride and bend the knee? I have every confidence that you will disappoint us. Once my position is upheld, the undecided among the gods will embrace my plan.
You're still my enemy. The gods think my actions can prove their point about mortal society.
Prove it or disprove it, yes. I never agreed to this arrangement, but if your example demonstrates mortal ineptitude, as I trust it will, then I can make the plan serve me. An assertive minority of gods believe that your choices will prove the value of their wild optimism. As if mortal collaboration and ingenuity are endorsements of our leadership. Then there are those of us who know better, who are not so easily convinced. Kith are vulnerable, unless they submit to the destiny we chart for them. Thinking otherwise can only breed dissent and chaos.
Tell me about this enlightened society you once wanted.
It was an ambitious plan, our utopia. Perhaps too ambitious. We ascended to power, responding to a need inadequately satisfied. Assuming these roles gave us the authority to mold Eora over time, to influence you and lay the groundwork for a society yet to come.
Okay.
On the outset of the plan, some believed that mortals would outgrow us, as if that was a favorable outcome. To me, our eternal pantheon was always a critical fixture. Aethys was one of those who supported mortals, while I have always been their most vocal critic.
But you were once mortal. If they can become gods once, they can do it again. Why did the gods, other gods tolerate your opposition?
Opposition can take many forms. If a church embraces and weaponizes my doctrine, that is very different from me rampaging as a titan. Aethys is not known for subtlety. Twice now, he has contaminated the purity of our experiment, and done so with extravagant displays that undermine our authority.
So in other words, they're not supposed to. They're primarily watchers, observers, Aethos isn't supposed to be doing what he's doing right now. You call what Theos did subtle?
His approach was sophisticated, indirect. I owe you no explanations on the matter. Besides, you are not worthy to speak his name. I am the counterpoint to the soft-hearted. It makes no difference if mortals pass some arbitrary test. My mind is settled on the matter. Regardless of my feelings, the timing of this crisis forces us to accelerate our schedule. Final judgment comes sooner than any of us would prefer.
Wait, so whatever Aethys is doing, it is going to start the Judgment Day. A literal Judgment Day. What happens if someone proves you wrong?
If our pantheon found that mortals had cultivated a perfect, lawful system to maturity, I would not voice a word in protest. I would merely stand aside and await the inevitable collapse.
Wow.
Mortals need us. I know this as well as I know myself. Even a lawful and responsible society would be poised to collapse as long as its architects and strongest adherents were mortal.
So we can't build anything to last, is her opinion. That's her real hatred towards us. We don't have the long-term view that the gods have.
Any satisfaction that my siblings derived from their little experiment would be short-lived, and it would fall to me to clean up after their mess.
So you're right even when you're wrong. Got it.
Make no mistake, Watcher. In this, I cannot be proven wrong.
How would you even recognize the ideal society?
A valid, self-defeating question, and one which I posed often. We assumed that they, whoever they were, would reveal themselves to us. Rational government would rule in our stead, leaving churches vacant. Thanks to Aethys, we're pulling the dough from the oven before it's had a chance to fully rise. You unfortunate bastards never had the chance to prove me wrong.
Doesn't this social engineering plan seem counterintuitive?
You mean gods crafting a godless world? Naturally. My siblings desired to influence mortals and steer them in a proper direction, even if that direction led to places we could not follow. I have no intention of being left behind. Society would unravel without its queen to impose strict order.
You're just a bundle of arrogance, aren't you, Utica?
You have learned much already. Only ask if you are ready for the truth.
We'll speak again.
Yes, I think we will. This is not the end of our discussion. You know how to find your way back to this place.
Wotica nods stiffly. You feel her presence drift as a breeze, rustling as it goes.
Interesting. All right. Trying to talk to people.
Captain, a delight as usual.
How did you and Ishiza... Oh, wait. No, we already talked to pretty much everyone here. All right.
Ahoy, Captain. What can I do you for?
Oh, we can flirt with Seraphon. We need to bring Seraphon with us. He has levels to gain as well as just a mechanic skill to use. Edwin. We can't even talk to Edwin?
I'm all ears. Tell me what's on your mind. They're there, and sometimes I can taste them on the back of my... I'm glad we talked.
Yes?
What do you think of the Royal Deadfire Company, Allah?
I think they're one of the most ordered and deliberate organizations I've ever seen. And I don't entirely trust that. Not after the Leaden Key.
Ew. They're after something here.
What's on your mind?
Alright. Now, how exactly do I change things around? Okay, how do I do this? Yes. Where's my menagerie? I need to see it. Oh! Look at them all! Oh!
What's gnawing you?
Very happy.
On it.
All right. Now I just need to figure out how to actually swap people around. Party. Rest and wait. Select all, cancel, attack.
You have questions? Ikera, I have answers.
Takehu opens his palm and gestures for you to speak freely. The Kahanga royalty seem very taken with you.
Between the crown and the guild, Nekataka has high hopes for Ngati's chosen son, I say.
Takehu smooths back his hair with both hands as he gathers his thoughts.
If Ngati had not blessed me, I say the goddess touched me for more than enriching one tribe, glorifying one island.
Takehu bites his thumbnail and sighs. You give people hope, Takehu.
If people need hope, they should pray harder, or look to their own grindstone.
He gives you an annoyed look, holding it there for longer than necessary, before tossing his hair with a gentle squish.
I say there is me, Takehu, and there is the Takehu others would make like a coconut husk doll. The more I try to be the Takehu I know I am, the harder I am constrained. What say?
No one should pressure you to be something you're not.
But it is the adoring people who made Takehu the savior of the tribes.
He shrugs, sighing.
Many think that I have a duty to the Huana. I say I am the only one unconvinced.
I'm the Lady of Kadnua, but you don't see me rebuilding my keep.
Ikera, just so.
The side of his mouth twitches. Hesitating at first, Takehu envelops your hand into his, the scales among his palm both prickly and warm. Just as it seems he will break away, instead he leans in closer.
I know how I seem. We did not have this word, conceded, before Adirans landed on the Isles. If Ngati had not touched me, I wonder if anyone would care.
Takehu seems ready to say more. He stops himself and releases you from his grip. The world around you darkens, and once again you feel an insistent tug for your intention. The pull centering from Takehu's soul. Once again, you feel yourself in Andra's waterlogged hall of power. The tired swaying of bioluminescent chandeliers casts uneven rays of light down on her court.
Poor boy. He has it backward, as usual.
A silky, distant voice asserts itself in your thoughts.
I did not choose him so that he could do great things. I chose him because talent should be fostered toward any end.
Sadness and regret creep into her tone, but something about them rings falsely to your ears. Really?
How fortunate that you are here to set him on the right path. I know you won't disappoint.
You hear a smile in her words.
Apologies. I say I never miss an opportunity to talk about myself.
The presence withdraws, leaving you unsteady on your feet. Oblivious, Takehu offers a broad, showy smile. I have some questions.
You have questions? Ikera, I have answers. Since Periki, founder of the guild, or...
Interesting. Why can't I click you?
Agrasima Casita for taking me on. I join crew. Who worthless now, Arkamir?
Okay. How about we go to the gullet first? How do I actually change my companions?
Hey, Shodi. Those dreams of yours, they still getting to you?
I can deal with the dreams, for better or worse. What makes me sweat is the not knowing. What happens when I stand face to face with my god, and he reveals what he intends for me? What if it's not as I thought?
Yeah, I've had thoughts like that for a long time. Except now I'm worried about what he intends for the world.
Whatever it might be, at least we'll face it together.
Aww, those two were made for each other. Okay. How do I actually change my characters, though? Character, inventory. Formation. Hold up. I'm gonna look this up. Okay, hold up. We need to go to the world map. Apparently. This is kind of why I went to the exit here. Gonna leave by sea. Ah, here we are. This is what we're looking for. All right, so I'm gonna drop out Jyoti and... Ooh, man, that's a hard decision. We got the Mindstalker crew. That's fun. Alright. Now we should be able to go. We'll go to the gullet right now. And then just take the elevator down so we have the option to leave whenever we want. As long as we don't rest, we should be fine. Actually, the other thing is we can rest, which we probably should because Eder has a couple of very permanent debuffs. Yep, Curse of Darkness. Actually, quite a few of us have a couple of very permanent debuffs. Oh, hi. How goes, NB?
You think the hole was already here, or they dug it after they thought up the name?
I'll throw you down there myself.
Need something?
If you do not hush right now.
What you need? Sure, I know a few folks who need coin, and a couple of them can even hold their liquor.
Oh God, insurance. I don't have to. I don't want to think about insurance for a while. What sort of insurance? Health insurance? When does that start? Oh, I don't want to think about that. I've been dealing with insurance and I need to pay that for this month. Okay. Takehu. Man, Takehu actually needs a lot of gear. I just realized he's practically completely out. We also have people to level. Like our dear friend the Mindstalker. Look at her. She looks like she's from a different game, I'll be honest. I think she's a white elf or a pale elf. Nice. Well, that's good at least. Oh shit, I don't know what to give her. Do we already have someone doing bluff? Yeah, we already have someone doing bluff. What about insight? Ain't no one doing insight. Fantastic. Takea is already doing metaphysics. I might undo sleight of hand. Nah, stories won't work until I actually install it, which will probably be a while still. What are you up to, Envy? Well, I guess you just told me what you're up to, right? They added axolotls. Hmm. I have no idea what I'm going to set her up as. Yeah, I think Envy is just talking about modern Minecraft, not all the mods. Also, I want a vibe check from you, Desalona. Just take a look here. This is Edwin. What do you think of her? She is at that. Go with biting whip. You don't get a pin you against the wall, but that's usually just evil men for some reason. We'll take a look at Seraphim in a moment. We have like a ridiculous number of levels to unlock with Edwin. I'm not gonna do Recall Agony. Phantom Foes. Rogue. I don't know how to build rogues. I really, really don't. They're the weirdest class for me. Okay, so she's got rapiers and daggers. What about stilettos? Blackjacks, maces. What about a ranged attack? I'm gonna give her a blunderbuss. I still have no idea how a lot of this focuses, or how to build synergies with this sort of stuff. I thought I already did biting whip. Ooh, I like that. Sleight of hand, insight. Too many levels. Oh god, how many levels do we actually have at this point? Edwin never got a chance to be leveled up before I sent her off. Even more. Two additional quick item slots. Riposte? I think I'm going to stick with Rogue as her defensive side, whereas Cypher is her offensive side. And then we have Seraphim, who is our mechanics specialist, and also our bluff specialist. And Seraphim is also very similar. He is a pure Cypher, however. Seraphim is actually outright damage. I will happily take that. That sounds amazing. Alright, cool.
What for, Captain?
By the way, that's Seraphim. He's a fun boy.
At your service.
Look at those scales. Then there's Adair. You can barely see. Can we... Adair's hair color bothers me because I thought it was darker. But they made it lighter in this game. So,
Speak your mind. The pleasure is mine.
Alright.
Need something? Holes. What's a neighborhood without a... I rode a whale. Of course.
Okay, so we have a quest to turn in, and it's going to give us hella experience. We also have a place to go. What the heck is that? Oh, hey! Look at that, we found the cache. Hey, Biha. You bought a new fridge today? How big is the fridge? And how much did it end up costing you?
My village was not like this. Why does Queen Onikaza not send the foreigners away?
I found the money Bataro hid. Take it.
That much copper would only bring suspicion. Besides, maybe Suduza will accept it in exchange for passage.
I found Bataro in the old city. He's dead.
Of course. I only hoped.
Holds over 100 cans. That's a big old fridge. Wow.
It is no matter. Thank you for telling me.
I spoke with Captain Suduzo about passage out of Nekataka. Also, did you know that Bataro was working for criminals?
Of course not. He worked on the docks. I'm sure of it.
I'm a watcher. I read the memory in his soul. She blinks at you in disbelief, her mouth half open.
For what do you torment me? He was a good man.
He showed Suduzo a swillenet.
Please, no more.
As you say.
The Overseer looks for a reason to toss us below too. Such talk will bring him to our doorstep.
I spoke with Captain Suduzo about passage out of Nekataka.
What say, then?
She's agreed to take you all. She is momentarily speechless, her eyes filled with tears. She drops the reeds as she brushes them away.
No hug for Takehu, then?
May Amira's winds ever blow sweet for you. We will pray always for you in this life and in each to come.
She picks up the two infants and hurries the others out. Hurries the others out of the door. Bye. I also got 600 coppers out of this, so that's not bad. Okay.
Will do.
No hug for Takehu. I'll give you a hug. You need all the hugs that you can get, Takehu. Speaking of which, there's one party member that I have yet to actually talk to.
It is not every day I meet a sailor who gives no praise to Ngati.
She ain't sunk me yet, lad.
Edwin has no dialogue, apparently. She will not speak to you until you have found the thing that she's interested in.
A question, Watcher?
I would love questions, but you don't seem to have the option to... Interesting. Okay.
Captain? Ahoy, Captain. What can I do you for? I've no use for regrets, Cap.
Right. Okay. I've already talked to him all the way through. I do hope more dialogue opens up. Basically, I offered her passage aboard my ship, and she was just like, yes, and then didn't say anything else. I assumed that she will say more stuff once we actually continue with the main quest. Gonna steal everything. I do like her design. The incredibly prim and proper white hair. Like, she is very composed. She does her own tailoring too.
Huh? Sure.
The woman bends over a pile of dried, bitter-smelling herbs. She's crushing and mashing them on a dirty scrap of parchment, coughing with effort. She steps in front of you to block your way, wiping a ragged sleeve across her rheumy, bloodshot eyes.
Got nothing here worth selling or stealing. You best be on your way.
Are you ill?
Nothing a little ginger root and some bed rest won't cure. Please, let me be.
She takes another step, blocking your view of the rooms beyond. The herbs on the table give off an odor that scratches at your throat. Perhaps there's something I can do to help.
That's not...
She erupts in a fit of coughing. As she catches her breath, she gives you a closer look.
Wait, you're the one someone and the other Dawnstar's been talking about.
She lets out a rattling sigh.
In that case, maybe there is. There's some sick Raparu in the back. Not much I can do for them now besides keep them comfortable.
She looks at the crimson speckle on her wrist.
And hidden.
In my village, the sick went to the other side of the mountain. Is there nowhere deeper you can flee?
It's better than leaving them to wander the district. I can give them a dignified death, if nothing else.
Why are you hiding sick people?
Because they've got Drowner's lung. Spreads like gossip and kills even faster.
What's Drowner's lung?
A gift from the Valians.
She scowls, dabbing the rheum from her eyes.
Fills your lungs with fluid. Gets you coughing all the time, trying to clear them. One of my patients coughed so hard, she broke a rib. Eventually, it gets so bad, you can't hack it out. You just lie there, struggling for breath, until you choke on your own phlegm. I hear it's a long, hard end.
She trails off for a moment, a distant look in her watering eyes.
I heard some Raparu had gotten sick, so I brought them here to care for them. City healers don't come down here.
She frowns and gives her nose a vicious swipe.
The Raparu have no healers of their own?
Takehu pulls at one of his longer hairs, frowning. She shakes her head.
These people are laborers and fishers. Many aren't even Kahanga. Wound up here after raiders and slavers tore their own tribes apart.
She turns back to you.
Anyway, I realized what was wrong when I heard the rattle in their chests. The way they gasped for air.
She swipes the back of her hand on her leg and shudders.
Only cure is an elixir made with pine seed oil. It costs a lot, though not nearly as much as an epidemic. Still, if news of this outbreak gets out, these poor souls will get tossed into the old city. No one with any money in Neketaka spends it on the Raparu.
I see. Is there any way to get a cure?
You can get nearly anything on Delver's Row. Only trouble is finding it, and paying for it. Unfortunately, the children of the Dawnstars don't have many connections in this part of town.
She turns away, whooping and hacking into her arm.
Need something?
What interest do the children of the Dawnstars have in the gullet?
About the only honest one. The Raparu here are treated like garbage. Even made to eat garbage from that scrap heap opposite the lift. Not that I need to tell you. And Dario and his Principe scum took advantage of the neglect down here to set up the black market on Delver's Row.
Dario?
He runs most of the criminal mischief that goes on here. Some say he's an old Valian traditionalist. Some say he's a thug with good taste.
She holds her hands out, shifting her open palms like platforms on a scale.
Either way, I steer clear of him.
She shivers, whether out of fear or illness. You couldn't say.
All the while, the gullet gets more crowded as tribes from the other islands come to Nekataka. Some are driven from their homes by pirates, raiders, even trading company thugs.
Her eyes darken.
Others hear stories of the foreign wealth pouring into the city. What they don't realize is most of it flows between the foreigners and the palace.
I see. So the Dawnstars are helping out?
As best we can. Most of us came from Raed Saris after the Vorlis Plot and the Saints War. Or we were born to families that did. We remember what it's like to scrape by.
Her eyes stray to the stained and spotted floor for a long moment. I see.
Some days, I think maybe this is why Aethys brought us to Deadfire. So we can do some good. Other days, I'm too damn tired.
She arches her back, popping her spine. Well, farewell then. Maybe we can do something for that. Let's take a look at each of them. A bitter-smelling sludge fills the cup. Yeah. The flasks are empty, but for the crusty residue of used up medicines. Scrawled prayers, some in Huana script, are stashed in the shrine. Forsaken cat! We have so many cats at this point. Sweet incense masks the odor of the offering. Rotten fruit and spoiled fish. It's what they can offer. A gaunt Raparu woman grabs your leg. She paws at you with a weak grip, fingers bone thin and trembling.
Mercy, traveler. Never have I been so hungry.
The woman snatches the food from your hands with surprising speed, eyes darting a glance for any onlookers before she shoves it between her teeth. She gnaws desperately, swallows, chokes, chews again, and speaks with a mouth half full from the next bite.
Thank you, traveler. Thank you. I knew you were a good one.
Do you have no access to food?
Always there is prize share. The pile has grown leaner these years. Little falls to our pile that is not rotten or sour from this week and maybe before.
Maybe we should... What do you mean? She shakes her head.
Forgive me, I say too much. If you would know more, ask Inoi. Our elder listens to those in need, and he speaks. Out of earshot of the guards. He's there. In the house to the right when you cross the bridge. He can speak of the hunger.
Can you tell me how to get to Delva's Row?
The black market. I have heard of it, but I have never been. I prefer to keep my head on my shoulders, Kira. But perhaps the village elder will point you down if Inoi cannot...
Yeah. Not information we actually need. We've been there, so we can go there again. Half-eaten food scraps litter the pile. A rancid stench rises from it. Hey, Inoi. The old man grimaces some attempt at a smile. He inclines his head to you and indicating he's aware of your presence. The Principi will supply food again if more Roparu work with them.
I have no choice but to hope this venture together fares better than our last. We will accept the Principi's generosity and work to return it tenfold. Never can I thank you enough, Watcher who has the ear of both kith and gods. Always the Roparu will know of your kindness. Should you need refuge within Nekadaka, know that the Roparu will stand by your side.
Take care, old man.
May Amira's wind ever fill your sails, girl. We will not forget what you have done for us.
They desperately needed the help. The rest of the city was ignoring them, letting them starve.
Gods, lad. I could live forever and never be tiring of these islands.
Ikera, the beaches of Oreo Koiki, the sands of Poko Kahara.
Oh, the lads walking them beaches. The lasses with sand on their asses.
Ikera, them as well.
A rickety metal cage swings over the abyss. Your clothes billow with a foul wind from below, and the faint screams and roars echo from the depths. Still, you can make out no details from this distance. All right. Down we go. This time, we have someone who can actually open that cage. Oh, I never ended up leveling you, did I? You leveled again. My god, look at you go. Okay. I still don't know how to build this guy. I'm trying, though. He could probably use... Okay, he's a blunderbuss. Oh, that reminds me, I have a blunderbuss to give him. Go ahead and grab that. So many weapons to give him. Need to start giving people extra weapon slots so I can take advantage of all of the weapons. Decay is just like, I'm not going to get slowed down, I'm going to keep running. Alright, this is gonna take a while. It is literally the other side of the map. Okay, let's see what's in here.
I don't be supposing we keep swapped in sparkling, cat.
I've got it.
Large shield, one-handed. Soul strike. What the hell is Soul Strike? Use the luminous shard's stored soul energy to strike a target, lowering their defenses. Penalty becomes more potent with the metaphysics skill. Shit, am I gonna have to teach Adair how to... He's not smart! Metaphysics would go straight over his head. This shield was constructed for the use with, for the use of an Ingwithan saint, as he performed his eternal vigil. Crafted from a single slab of Adra, Kadhu's scalp, I think? The saint's protection is a natural reservoir for soul energy and lent considerable power to the vessel who wore it. The saint was parted from his shield only when the volcano over which the sacred site he guarded erupted. Huh. I mean, if there was ever a reason to be parted from your sacred shield, I think a volcano eruption would be a good one. The shield was recovered many years later by a band of Raparu woodsmen, where it was half submerged in a quickmud pit. The Raparu, none of whom grasped the value of the find, retrieved it for curiosity's sake. The shield was no more than a novelty until it began to sing, as the woodsman described it. They recounted to their chieftain that the dissonant melody hummed with luminous colors that revealed their lives past and shook them to their core. The chieftain, unwary of the implications of such tales, took the shield for his personal use. Okay. And just a random stiletto.
I don't be supposing we'd swapped and sparkling.
Hmm. All right, Adair, we found you a new shield. Oh, that's interesting. You can actually get rid of the corroded blade and turn it into sharpened blade. Requires emeralds, adraban, and reagents. Oh! Okay, that's really cool. They changed how the, they changed how all of the things leveled up. So you can just keep upgrading things. That is super cool. I love it. Cool. Oh, right. Kitchen stove. I forgot about this thing. We got it as a quest reward. Terrail Tyrin, dwarf captain of the Valian privateers Karak Furiato Viello, learned well the deadly business of deck-to-deck combat over his long years of violent plunder. The blunderbuss, his boarding crew's favored weapon, was well suited to the task of sweeping an enemy deck of opponents, but reloading such a weapon was damnably slow in the heart of combat. Terrell, a capable gunsmith, set forth to improve his own weapon. He needed a firearm that could be loaded quickly. It had to be able to, in his words, fire anything, even the goddamn kitchen stove. In that endeavor, he was successful. The gun he crafted could accommodate just about any type of ammunition so long as it fit down the trumpet-like barrel. Terail was known to load nails, forks, and even coins into the gun. In a particularly grisly recollection, after suffering a nearly fatal gunshot wound to the face, he was said to have rammed a handful of his own broken teeth into the trusty weapon before shooting his attacker dead. Terail, aged, scarred, and battle-weary, eventually retired, ill-suited to a life ashore. He fell on hard times and was forced to pawn the weapon that had saved his life many times over. Both he and the weapon faded into obscurity. That is disgusting, and I love it. Oh, this is so cool. Okay. Hold up a moment. Blunderbuss for her. I'm slightly sad that we can't upgrade this. Not quite the look that suits her, honestly. Let's try this. That's a bit of a better look for her. Okay. I think I'm going to take a brief break. We have just finished off a lot of the quests in the area. Still a lot more to go, though. Good God. Okay. Yeah, brief break. We'll be back in a bit. Alright, we're back. So, I think that right now, my current objective... Excuse me. My current objective is to flesh out all of the builds that we currently have. We have a lot of people that have proficiencies with things and no weapons to actually use with those proficiencies. So, primarily, we're going to start looking around for some money to build up some placeholder weapons. I am thinking about what Wudica said, though. Does... Okay. They're judging based on my actions, right? Does that mean that if I'm a bad person, they judge everyone else a bad person? Is that how this works right now? It's hard to say. There's also still some side quests that I probably haven't picked up. Hey, Overseer.
The Gullet is no place to wander. Watch yourself for rowdies and pirates.
We're not telling him that. That sounds like a way to get them thrown out immediately. And no. We could go to Delver's Row. Find that medicine that we need. I do like the text-based stuff. It's a welcome relief from just constant combat sometimes. Hey, Enorat.
It's the smell of cardamom that drew you, no? Or perhaps the sting of fresh pepper. Or maybe you seek something with a stronger bite.
I'm looking for medicine to cure Drowner's lung.
Then you'd best ask elsewhere.
She leans close and lowers her voice.
But careful. If the Mataru Overseer hears there's a sickness, might be he has more questions for you.
She raises her brows over sightless eyes. Well, she was my first check.
Looking for something to sharpen the senses.
Drugs. I'm looking for a cure for Drowner's lung.
Keep your rotten ass away from me, Langer.
He takes a step back from
you.
You
Want to talk to a Valian that goes by her Netso? He runs a shop down the street, here in the row. Don't tell him I sent you. And don't say I never did you any favors. I know who you are. I make it my bag to keep my eyes on the new fish that end up in the gullet. Rats round here been whispering about you. I'm guessing you're looking to buy some art.
Yeah, no. I'll think about it. Hey, Ernetzo.
There is something I can get for you, yes? Tell me quietly.
I need medicine for Drowner's lung.
Eh? I hope you are not ill. But never mind. If the Mataru come asking, I will not tell.
He winks and taps his lower lip, backing away from you just a little.
But Drowner's lung is very serious. Very deadly.
He clucks and shakes his head.
The cure is not cheap, but how can one put a price on good health?
He grins marvelously and waggles 8 fingers on the countertop before you.
On the other hand, you strike me as someone with a certain reputation. Not that I would ever be indiscreet. If the price seems high, there is a certain little favor you could do for me instead.
Oh, dude, that's nothing. I'll buy it.
Belfetto. Though, if your coin purse is so full, take care that others do not hear it jingle.
It's not full no more.
Your medicine, as promised.
He shakes your hand, and you feel a glass vial slip into your palm. He gives you a nod of acknowledgement.
Hey, how did you do that? Can you do that again?
Adair stares at Inetso with a childlike giddiness, pointing at the file with a rapid twitch of his fingers.
The deerwood must want for entertainment if sleight of hand is a joy.
Inetso blinks slowly at Adair before turning back to you.
There is something I can get for you, yes? Tell me quietly.
No, it's good. I think we're good. However, you
need a perhaps.
I have a lot of things to sell. Not as interesting as I would have liked. Find sword, find dagger. Let's see here. Cape doesn't do anything, but it looks good. Now, she actually is completely missing on pretty much any gear, despite having a lot of spots.
Yours to command, Captain.
What do you need?
Oh boy. I feel like me and Shani, or Joti, are not going to be getting along long term. We'll see, though. We'll see. Oh. Let's see what we've got. I like that. So she's got daggers, and I gave her a blunderbuss. I think we'll give her a shield as well. Probably a light shield. Gonna need a lot of the light shields, though.
You need a blade or old Umani's stock is 10.
Okay. Good amount. God, this stuff is expensive. We'll see if we can't find stuff eventually. Just need to find more people to kill. Well, we got the medicine, so at least we won't have to worry too much. Well, won't have to worry about that.
Need something?
Here's your medicine. Her eyes, watery and red, dart between you and the file you hold. She coughs into her fist.
That could save an awful lot of sick people.
She wipes her hand on her shirt and holds it out to you.
That's the Watcher we all heard such good things about.
She nods emphatically, breaking off then to cough into her sleeve. She takes the bottle from you and uncorks it. A sharp, piney odor escapes. She breathes it in and smiles.
That's the stuff, all right. Thank you. That's from me and from the children of the Dawnstars.
What is this? Halgot's Warmth. +2 to burn armor rating. +1 to priest restoration power level. That's going to a certain priest. Set into this ring is a chunk of stained glass from Halgot's Citadel, also known as the Godhammer Citadel. The glass is warm to the touch, given to you by the Aethasian priest, Pitli, for aiding in her mission to care for the afflicted. This ring represents renewal and compassion for the downtrodden.
If you'll excuse me, I better start treating the sickest ones.
Another quest done. Hey, Elsa. All right. We can sail to Hesongo whenever we want. Salt in the wound. Nera Bardato is worried about her younger brother Lero. Might be getting himself into trouble. Mentioned that Lero and his friends carouse at the tavern, the southwestern bridge, and behind the district's waterfall. Alright. Let's go find this boy. You are traveling in the slums of Nekataka when the streets become suddenly barren. The cliffs high above throw the narrow alleys and tunnels of Nekataka's ghettos into darkness even in midday. The cliffs high above... Oh, sorry. The reek of rotten fruit mixes with the noisome scent of dead fish, swaddling you along with 100 other less filthy fragrances. Your footsteps echo in the darkness, piercing the otherwise silent slums. Quiet this thick ain't never a sign of fortune cap. Seraphin's nose twitches. You turn a corner and walk into a plaintive cry. Help! Misshapen shadows mix with low hissing and a skittering of claws on filthy stone to resolve into a pack of scolder. Their glistening maws float in the black, and cave grubs wriggle about their legs, mandibles snapping, as if to mangle the air. On the other side of the creatures, a small girl, dressed in the rags of the Huana, grips a gleaming sword in both hands. She brandishes it wildly at the scolder, each swing of the blade releasing a howl that keeps the beasts away. They creep ever closer to her, however, and her eyes plead with your own. Please! With a resounding shout, Adair rushes into the fray. The scolder flinches and turns on your party. They growl hungrily as they charge forward. Alright. We fought worse. We fought much worse.
Speak your mind.
This is going to be interesting. Edwin is next turn.
Yes.
See if we can't get all of them. No, we can't. I really hope that she's tough. That was a good one. They'll be out of the fight for a while. In the meantime...
What do you need?
Let's see. Charge to here. Go ahead and discipline barrage. Warrior stance. Done.
Hey, whose side are you on?
Nice. Okay, that hurt a lot of them really badly. Immune to lightning. Right. Right.
Huh?
Hey.
Hi. So that one's almost dead.
I'm on it.
Ooh, missed one.
Captain.
What's this? Pain link.
Sigma's me tomb.
Geez, they are all going for Takehu. My dudes? Why you all want Shark Boy? Is it because he did so much damage? I'm gonna guess it's because he did so much damage.
Taste blood.
At your service.
Well, I guess this kind of works out. They're not immune to frost. Okay. And we have another shout, which makes them all paralyzed again. Fantastic. This is actually the best possible case scenario. So, yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and do an empowered Mind Blades. Nice. So they're all paralyzed. They can't actually do anything against Takehu's incoming spell. Stunned. Go ahead and switch to that.
Leave it to me.
What say?
Fantastic. That won't do anything. We can do chill fob though.
What do you need? Perathus!
Oh, wasn't quite low enough. Huh.
Break upon the wheel.
Oh, wow. I really hope that gave her a ton. I mean, we might as well just keep doing it. Let's take a look at what Mind Lance can do, shall we?
Take care with your aim.
Oh, yeah. I'd say that was worth. Even more damage. That just leaves the two cave grubs and a skull dry.
A question, Watcher? Break upon the wheel.
Also, I just realized she's not... Oh, that's the rogue power pool. And that's up to 46. That, Jesus. She has tons of power stored up. Well, we don't have any more spells for the Watcher to use.
Sure.
Okay, that's really badass.
Ahoy.
A bit goofy, I'll be honest, but definitely badass.
Consider it right fucked.
What do you need?
Are these... Oh god, I'm using the wrong weapon against them. We've got decent penetration now.
For Mother Ngati.
I really need to get him a different weapon.
Did I do that?
66. Oh man, stovepipe is a good, or kitchen stove is a fantastic weapon for her. You effed up.
What for, Cap?
Cool.
What for, Cap? Done and done.
On it.
All right, hello. The girl panting before you, draped in tattered Reparo robes, bears a few bruises and cuts, but looks otherwise unharmed. Beads of sweat commingle with trickling blood on her forehead. Finally, relaxing, she lowers the sword she's been swinging, letting the edge rest in the dirt. The pommel bears the form of a dog's head.
Thanks, stranger. Don't think I could have made it without you.
Kusi smiles, eyes gleaming in the gloom. You're lucky you're not dead.
I know. But isn't that true of most folk who aren't dead? Anyway, I think you should have this. For what you did, and for what you can do with it.
She kneels, wiping the blood off the blade and sliding it into the scabbard before proffering it to you. Thank you. I use this blade well.
No, thank you for coming along when you did. And what's more, for helping.
She bows her head. As you take the sword from the girl, from her, the girl steps back. The Griffin's blade. What is this? Plus 30% damage. Howling Blade, 50% chance to daze targets and nearby enemies on crit. Grants loyal companion. The spirit of Griffin bolsters the party's courage, grants steadfast to the wielder and nearby allies when the wielder is bloodied. Is it a greatsword? This bronze sword is not associated with a great smith, but with a modest artisan. The young craftswoman, noted for her talent at engraving and jewelry, received the unfinished blade from her local lord with a commission for a brass cross-guard and pommel. Elated at the trust shown in her talents, the artisan worked tirelessly to complete the order. As she etched and polished, her faithful dog Griffin stayed at her side day and night. As days turned to week, the artisan began to forgo food and sleep in her effort to fulfill her commission. When she became discouraged, Griffin, her ever-faithful companion, was there to encourage her with a nuzzle and a loving lick. One day while working, the artisan looked down at her feet to find her beloved canine companion cold and still. Griffin had died, curled at her feet, faithful to the last. Heartbroken, the artisan decided to commemorate the hound into the piece, and into which she had poured her heart and soul. She crafted the pommel into Griffin's likeness, taking some comfort in knowing that when the Lord carried his sword, he too would have a loyal companion at his side. Aww. That's so sad. But also so... Aww.
I truly appreciate what you did. Not everyone in Neketaka steps in for a neighbor. I need to be getting back to Mother, though.
She grimaces down at one of the dead Skulder.
I probably shouldn't take home Skulder meat, should I?
She muses.
Captain.
Probably not.
Done.
Where was I going? I don't remember. Hold up. Ah, right. I remember now. Okay. What are we looking? So, the tavern, the southwestern bridge, and behind the district's waterfall. I guess we can check the tavern first, right? This is the first time we've been in here. The Wild Mare.
Hail and welcome to the Wild Mare, friend.
A jovial man at the bar grins and motions you closer. His arms are corded with thick muscle and cross-hatched with scars. A deep frown cuts across his face the moment he spots Takehu.
Hey, fish boy. What'd I tell you last time? You're not allowed in here.
Kara, have we met?
Takehu frowns, worrying one of his hairs.
Oh, have you forgotten our little altercation so soon? How convenient for you.
He levels Takehu with a steely glare and begins to count off the man's indiscretions on his fingers.
Last you were here, you got drunk as a hagfish in a barrel of mead.
Why does that not surprise me?
Akira, at least one of us is amused.
Takehu furrows his brow.
Then, when I refused to serve you any longer, you stole a bottle of my finest wine from behind the bar.
Akira, how could I let you poison your clients? Ngati is not deigned to bless a drop of what passes through here.
You drank it all, then clambered onto the stage, pushed the dancer off, and serenaded the crowd with a sloppy rendition of My Wahaki.
Come on. An aggressive and isolationist Huana tribe, the Wahaki have consistently pushed back against the Valian and Raotayan efforts to expand into the outlying islands of the Deadfire Archipelago.
Clamber? These legs do not clamber.
Takehu grits his teeth and points to his thighs.
Apologize.
Oh no. Intimidating. Well, Gintel, care to apologize to my friends here?
I'm not done. Then, when I shoved you out the door and told you not to come back, you tried to kiss me.
And though he looks as if he's about to protest, Takehu thinks twice and holds his silence.
Frankly, I'm surprised someone hasn't killed you yet.
Gintel plants his hands on his hips and does his best to loom over the large Amawa man, though the effect is less than impressive. I'll vouch for him.
Oh, you and me, lad. We'll be spending our next shore leave together. But leave you me.
He grins, all crooked teeth.
All right. But if he gets up to any more mischief, it's your purse on the line.
Akara, punish me appropriately if I misbehave.
I'll hold you to that, you slippery bastard.
Gintel turns away with a huff, a faint blush coloring the tips of his ears.
Now, what can I do for you?
Show me what you have for sale.
You see anything you like?
I would love the private dance room. Thank you very much. That'll deal with a lot of our problems. Cool. Now then.
My one solace from the tedious bureaucracy.
Ado, my friend. I knew our paths would cross eventually.
The Valian shouts over the din of the wild mare to get your attention, turning a great many heads to study your exchange. He takes a swig of his tankard. I'll bet you say that to all of your clients.
Que? No, you mistake me. I am not one of the courtesans. Tell me, you are the one who sails that fine ship, Ak? Terrorize the docks with spirits, Ak?
Leaning in close, he sips from the tankard and loudly sucks moisture from his upper lip. Sefi Merrigan, captain of the Defiant, at your service.
I am Aboko, and I am positioned to offer... I have opportunities for...
He clumsily unfolds a sheaf of parchment. The tankard slips in his grasp and spills ale down the front of his trousers. He gawks down at himself in horror.
1,000 times I practice my speech. Merda. Never did it go this poorly.
Here.
Agrasima. Do you know what my problem is, Amica?
He accepts the tankard and drinks deeply.
I am supposed to be in the business of giving bounties, but I know no one who hunts them.
He stamps his feet, kicking up a spray of spilled ale.
No one will unfurl their sail for my humble payments. But I must start from the bottom and work my way to the top, Ak?
What bounties do you have available?
You will take the job? You will take the job.
He grips you by the shoulders and smiles, tears springing to the corners of his eyes.
Agrasima. Something special for my first hunter, then.
He drains the tankard and tucks it under his arm to retrieve his sheaf of notes.
I will start you on Meriel, the mad animancer. She tortures her victims with unspeakable treatments before casting what's left to Berath's will. My contact saw her leaving Port Mage and heading west of Mage Island.
Oh, this is great. She joined the goddess of death in the beyond.
My first bounty to pay off. An exciting day for us both.
Aboko passes you a small pouch of coins.
Maybe it's not much, but as I make more deals, more pyres will be available, Ak?
Honestly, that's probably one of the biggest payments I've seen so far. Thank you. What bounties do you have available?
I finally managed to land the rights to a bounty of value. You may not like it. There is a thirsty drake who roosts near an oasis northeast of Mage Island. An important site for refilling canteens.
Oh?
The local tribes call him Purakeo, after a sea dragon of legend. Even so, they have no love for this water thief.
Before I go, I have some questions.
Agrasima, you have but to ask.
You seem down on your luck.
It is true that I have stumbled in my career path.
Aboko clears his throat.
Now that I have such an accomplished hunter, I can stand in the long shadow of your success.
He claps you on your shoulders.
It's not all bad, but the momentum of meeting new clients over drinks and in such enchanting company, it drains the stamina, my friend.
Interesting. Also, hello, Captain Redora.
You say I cannot down the rest? Watch me, Amico.
A Valian sailor raises her tankard and arches her back to invite a torrent of ale down her expectant mouth. Holding this pose for nothing to show for it, she taps the tankard's base and furrows her brow at its apparent emptiness. Her companion shakes his head and focuses his attention elsewhere.
Madiko, it is no wonder I thirst.
As she wipes her mouth with the back of her hand, her eyes widen and meet yours.
Ado, why do you stare?
The next grog is on me.
Agrasima, even in the oasis I am parched.
She pockets the coins and glances past you to the bar.
If you grant wishes, there is a vacancy on my ship.
Redora frowns. Redora's frown. Redora's frown cracks to reveal a shy smile.
Yet another reminder that not every seaworthy vessel be crewed up to the standards of the sorcerer.
He shakes his head. As the captain of the Defiant, I am already taken.
Sientere, Sere. Next time around the wheel, perhaps.
Also, Zamar sent me to collect your debt.
Merla, and he hired muscle. Sientere, but you are too late to collect.
She holds out her palm and flinches at the blow that doesn't come.
A gang in the northern alley stole every coin. I cannot hire a crew, much less repay Zamar.
Zamar is having some pirate trouble. Could this gang be connected?
If they wanted Zamar to thirst for coin, it is possible. Botzos will regret it when I turn my cannons to their mast.
Redora raises her empty mug as the vow is struck.
Those the cannons you be waiting for Zamar to cast you? Because I'd be seeing more holes in that plan than in any Principe mast's future or no.
His green eyes pry at her from over crossed arms. Why don't you tell me what happened?
Wizard lights drew me like a moth to the alley north of the Wild Mare.
Her eyes turn downcast.
And the blow to the back of the head that followed, Merlight hurt.
She touches a spot behind her ear and hisses.
Then a wolf sat on my chest while a group of thugs went through my pockets.
A wolf?
It growled like a thunderstorm and drooled on my uniform.
Redora pats a stain on her shoulder.
I stumbled back here and traded all I had left for the comforts of the mare.
You can find less costly comforts in Pariki's Overlook, madam.
Seraphin strokes his braided beard beneath a quiet smirk.
But to walk halfway up the mountain for them?
Redora dispels the notion with a wave. Sounds like my quarrel is with this gang. Farewell.
When you got their leader, tell them Radora sent you.
She raises her mug and winks. Where the hell?
Where in the blazes is that old man?
A young woman lingers near the stage with a mug of ale clutched in her hands. Though she shows no interest in the dancers, the bags beneath her eyes speak to many long nights spent drinking in the taverns. She looks lazily around the room until her gaze alights on you with interest.
Have you seen an old elf hanging around here lately? Dresses funny, probably drunker than an eel in a barrel of mead.
Why do you care?
That old goose punter owes me a fair bit of coin.
She takes a deep drink from her mug and concludes it with a tremendous belch. How much are we talking about? She leans close and whispers conspiratorially in your ear.
5,000 coppers, if you'd believe it.
Jeez, that is not a small amount.
And if you give me my money back, I'll give you a 20% share as thanks.
Deal.
I can't thank you enough. No one's been willing to so much as tell me the date until you came along. The man I'm looking for, Oswald, was especially fond of one of the courtesans upstairs, Analis. Maybe you can get more out of her than I can. She refuses to speak to me, the snippy little cur.
Have you tried being nice?
She wasn't receptive to my particular charms. Let's see you do better. Maybe you can get more out of her than I can. She refuses to speak to me, the snippy little cur.
Alright.
What do you want to know?
What's your history with Oswald? She groans theatrically, like she can't bear to recount the tale.
The man's a family friend. Has been for... must be 4 generations now. The perk of being an elf, eh?
Who are you?
I was hoping you wouldn't ask me that.
But hey, what the hell?
She rakes an impatient hand through her dirty hair.
I'm one of the countless minor nobles that litter the Deerwooden countryside. You know Admeth Hadret, hero of the War of Defiance? He's my great whatever.
Really? That's a big claim. He was one of the not sovereigns. He was one of the first dukes. So, what's the problem with that?
When people find out, they start doing weird shit. Calling me lady, opening doors for me, buying me drinks. Really, the title is a mockery. It means nothing to me.
Okay. What does Oswald owe you money for? She stares into the depths of her mug and sighs.
It's my fault, really. I should have known better than to believe that damned old drunk knew what he was doing. Man's a wizard. You understand, and a tinkerer. He convinced himself and me he could, with enough Luminous Adra, create a device that would add years to one's life. Must have been a crock of shit, because one day he up and ran without a word of explanation or apology. I thought I knew him better than that.
Huh. Guess I'll have to go find him then. However, I think I'm going to go ahead and save that for next time. Emir, Rabuna. Not someone I can see right now. Alright. Well, thank you everyone who has been watching. It has been great to have everyone around. Nope, that's not right. There we go. Okay. Yes, thank you everyone who has been watching. I'm going to see you guys all at a later date, and I hope you all had fun. Let me send you all off to someone else. Is what I would say if I actually had the creator dashboard up. One moment. There we go. Well, I'm going to send you guys off to Quiet Emerald, who is currently watching well, I say watching, playing The Walking Dead, the final season. And until next time, I hope you all have a safe trip through the Dark Forest. A special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters: Tenace Games, Zebgrin, Slime Hunter, Walks with Gorillas, my dad, Kremlin Kev, Desaluna, Miss Mango Plays, and BFF, Alpha Mango, and Kawok for continuing to support the stream. And I will see you next time.